Grandpa, how did things get to be like this, Grandpa? Didn't you guys see this happening? I'm sure everybody spoke up, right? Son, those were some crazy times. 90% of the people was asleep. The 10% that know try to protect their 2 cents, try to stay normal even when they know the whole shit was a farce. I spoke up about it. Win, lose, or draw. I'm proud of that. Guys, there's too much going on for you to sit on the sideline and not educate yourself on who's pulling all the strings behind the scenes. Luxury, ignorance is a luxury that none of us can afford. Ignorance is a food source. Stop being a food source. There's a part in the New Testament that says, and those that love their life more than they love the truth, they shall lose their life. If you see what's going on, speak up about it. We have a little bit of superpower in our voice, a lot of superpower in our unified voice. This is that good old fashioned, pure, buttered, undiluted bullshit. This.
It's July 3rd, 1933. 150,000 Jews gather at Soldier Field in Chicago to celebrate 3,000 years of Jewish history and nationhood by worshiping a fire-breathing statue of Moloch and feeding it children, which we can only hope were not real. The event was called the Romance of a People. It was organized by the Zionist Organization of America, sponsored by the Jewish Agency for Palestine, and produced by Meyer Weisgau, with help from Rabbi Solomon Goldman, as well as Maurice Samuel, the author of You Gentiles. One of the big speakers at the event was none other than Chaim Weizmann, first president of Israel, and the guy who, alongside Lionel Walter Rothschild, authored the Balfour Declaration, which was the agreement that dragged the U.S. into World War I, in exchange for the British stealing Palestine from Ottoman Turkey and allowing Jews to settle there. The event's Moloch worship and child sacrifice rituals, as an expression of Jewish history, confirm that the modern Jews are satanic when sacrificing to their fire god Moloch and offering their children to them, which you will see in a video soon. They still do today. The Bible tells us that the descendants of these tribes shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever, confirming that Jews cannot be saved. Just as Jesus warned, they are the synagogue of Satan. And here is the video evidence of that. They were all there, worshiping their ancient tribal god and celebrating the coming war, which would lead to a new world with Jews at the top. The event took place within months of Hitler taking power. I believe this event, and those who made it happen, demonstrate the inseparability of our spiritual and racial struggles, both connected and in perfect line with the biblical timeline and its account of tribes and bloodlines. But whether or not you agree on that, the footage speaks volumes to the character, not only of the leading minds of early Zionism and organized Jewry, but of the Jewish spirit and people. Who builds a big statue of a bull with an oven in its stomach, makes it breathe fire, and then stuffs children, whether real or fake, into that oven while crying out like banshees and dancing around it? Jews. Only Jews. In the middle of Chicago, on a Monday. It's July 3rd, 1930.
We need it.
Jays are always saying that Israel is the only J state in the entire world. Actually, it's not. The Jewish Autonomous Oblast, another Jewish state founded in 1934, way before the founding of Israel in 1948. It was created as a homeland and safe haven for Jays to escape to, especially after the 1933 German election of a certain anti-Zionist leader in Europe. Located on the other side of Russia, it is actually 75% bigger than Israel. They can all go there. That's safe for them, especially since they're being kicked out of the Middle East, America, and Europe. So they can't claim that they only have one bit of land. Their new neighbors will be China, North Korea, and Russia, which will keep them safe, but also box in any problems or dreams of expansionism, which they're always accused of. So while the Zios are always complaining that they need a homeland, at the same time they deny everybody else a homeland, they actually have two states, and they should be moved to the less problematic of the two. It's bigger for them and better for everybody. Jays are always saying that Israel is the only
This is how they control America.
J state
That's
in the
so
entire
funny because they would go right back to where they came from. The Genghis Khan. These are Genghis Khan that rode west.
world. Actually, it's not. The Jewish Autonomous
The Israeli ex-prime minister. He was one of the clients of Epstein. He's in the book by Virginia Giuffre as being one. I'm surprised you didn't know this. She says in her book that was ghostwritten by someone before she suicided, quote unquote, which I don't believe. She was a troubled soul. But if I told you her story, it is vomit-inducing what they did to her. I would have probably killed myself at this point. But she makes a statement about one of the most violent men that kept raping her. Not just sex for whatever she was doing. It was he wanted her to be full of terror. He got off on the terror. He was violent. She said she was bleeding. I mean, I'm getting visceral here, but it's important that people know this is Ehud Barak, Mr. Israel. Here, Elbit Systems, that Germany supports, and he is still alive, and he is running free. And he terrorized this young lady through Epstein. And the Epstein files are not being released. And it's not just, again, I'm connecting terrorism, mafia, Cosa Nostra. Yeah. They released some files. They have files, and they can release them. And it's all Trump was basically saying, yeah, I knew him, he was a bad guy, big deal. No, there are emails from Epstein saying Epstein can take Trump down any day. I think that's what it says. And then Trump just threw him to the dogs, didn't want to have anything to do with him. But there's a whole barrage of emails that show Trump, Epstein.
What about the 6 million Jews? Well, one of the easiest questions to take care of, actually, is the 6 million Jews. These Jews, if this were true, the 6 million Jews, you would have to give the Jews credit for being more clever than the cat for having 9 lives, because these Jewish gas Jews show up again and again and again all over the world, not just here. The Jewish Encyclopedia, which you can consult, and as you can see in all my literature, lists in 1932 and 33 only 2.5 million Jews for the entire area. Everywhere the Hitler population had been. There were only 2.5 million Jews, and yet he's accused of gassing 6 million Jews in a 2.5 million Jew area. I would be very grateful if the Jews would explain this to me. They've never done it.
The thing is that you say we committed war crimes. I committed war crimes. Whatever. I guess if look, I would say that no army has done what Israel has done to try to get civilians out of harm's way.
Yeah, tell that to all the kids that you blew up with toys. Let's list it. Sniped children, bombed hospitals, bombed rescue teams who ran in after the first blast, blocked food, fuel, medicine, water.
We are here to block them. This time we managed to just destroy all the food that was supposed to go to the Hamas.
Entire neighborhoods turned to dust. UN officials and genocide experts warning that this looks exactly like the thing we swore never again about. Yeah, fuck you, Satan.
The thing is that you say we committed war crimes.
By worship.
The police here, 99% conviction rate. Shut up.
We don't do anything illegal. You cannot take us to jail. If you are not involved, please go. Shalom, my friend. We bless you.
You're in my country.
You come to the United States, you can say whatever you want to say. That is a free world, yes?
You're not in the United States. You're in Israel.
I
You
understand.
cannot say whatever you want to say here.
Yes, you can. It's legal. It is legal to preach about Yeshua. We preach at Damascus Gate. The police said it's okay. We preach at Jaffa Gate. The police say it's okay. Please stop. I respect you. Respect me.
Doesn't have to respect you.
Huh?
Doesn't have to respect you.
That is the right thing. Are you Jewish? Do you want to honor God? That is the godly thing to do. We respect one another.
The godly thing to do is to kill you.
The godly thing is to kill me.
That's what the Torah says.
The Torah says to kill us.
The Torah says that people who worship idols such as yourself, when there is a Sanhedrin,
To kill us.
yes,
Okay.
that's what the Torah
So
says.
we know how the Jewish people feel about Christians, yes? That you discriminate against Christians.
Christians are idol
You
worshippers.
discriminate
The
against
Torah
Christians.
says that Christianity is idol worship.
Let me-
You're going to go to jail because the police here, 99% conviction.
What the fuck? Nigga, I'm in the middle of traffic, bro. Would you look at this shit, bro? Look, I can't.
Fellow awakened. While you were celebrating the holidays, the control system was finishing its masterpiece. They've spent decades telling you that the military exists to protect you from the enemy out there. But look at the calendar and then look at the data. On January 1st, 2026, the true agenda begins to reveal itself. By order of the Pentagon, a new National Guard quick reaction force of over 23,000 troops goes live across every single state. And this isn't just some disaster relief team, nor is it an immigration tactic. These are units specifically trained in civil disturbance and detainee operations. They aren't preparing for a flood, they are preparing for us, the citizens. They are building an internal army to manage the unrest they know is coming because they are the ones causing it. And while these units are preparing to have civilian shelter in place and FEMA themselves are preparing as well, look at what else they are doing. They are installing micronuclear reactors on their bases, decoupling the military from the civilians. They know their grids are fragile and they know a cyber strike is coming soon. So when the lights go out for you, the lights stay on for the military and the elites. They will have power to track you still, while you don't have power to feed your family. They are hardening the infrastructure of control while leaving you in the dark. They aren't protecting the country, they are protecting the system from the manufactured chaos they created. This isn't a conspiracy theory, it's the 2026 budget and it's the deployment orders. It's the physical reality of a cage being bolted shut. The question isn't what will the elites do next. The question is, now that you see the cage, what are you yourselves going to do? Time to unite and
I just heard an anti-Zionist Christian podcaster.
Prepare, because the clock hits zero.
I'm gonna tell you some good shit. You gotta love your fellow citizens. You gotta love your fellow brothers, because they wind us up to hate each other. Love and unity's how you gonna be able to stand up. I'm telling you some good shit.
Say something very interesting. I don't know if I totally agree with this, but it's interesting no less. He said, when America started blessing Israel on May 14th, 1948, what did it get? What did America get since then, since the Nakba? What did America get since 1948? Abortion, feminism, homosexuality becoming mainstream, increase in AIDS and other STDs, gender ideology, high crime rates, trash in the streets, increased violence, increased divorce, inflation, increased homelessness, rampant atheism, the epidemic use of pornography, disobedient children, social Marxism, critical race theory, and postmodern post-truth philosophy.
Wow.
So at the end, he asked, are we being blessed or are we being cursed? What do you think?
Very powerful rhetoric.
Yeah. I just heard an anti-Zionist Christian podcast.
You know, you're not allowed to say that they're doing all these things in the past, yet all these things are getting done to us.
Say something very interesting. I don't know if I totally agree with this, but
So hear me out. Something just came to me right fucking now. So the United States of America decides all of a sudden they want to get rid of these immigrants, right? So they doing their big on getting rid of these immigrants. They knew they couldn't get rid of the black indigenous because this is the time of the awakening. You feel me? And now we can reclaim our land. So during that COVID shit, them motherfuckers created a vaccine full of HIV and you niggas lined up to get it. They gave you motherfuckers a hot one. Cause how the fuck is all these cities starting to come up with just all these outstanding HIV cases? Like the numbers is crazy. I told you.
Oh, fuck. I'm talking to this sister last night. And I'm saying how it's nice to move down to Georgia. And she said she now move on no Atlanta. Because everybody down there have AIDS. How are they mama bomb bucklat? How are this? Oh, fuck. I'm just scrolling, y'all.
Niggas have to go down there and get that shit. You laughed at me. You gonna get COVID. You gonna get COVID. You didn't do your research. And them niggas, them motherfuckers, the government gave you niggas a hot one. They gave you niggas a hot one. How the fuck y'all know they didn't have separate vaccines for the blacks? Cause you know they crafty like that. I'll be telling y'all gotta watch these motherfuckers, man. How you gonna trust your enemy like that? And now all of a sudden in Houston, the numbers is going up. Atlanta, Florida, Louisiana, all these different places.
I heard Atlanta is the top one.
Rising to
Atlanta came up in the conversation as well. Atlanta is like the black Mecca. Atlanta is the top one. They attacked that shit big.
And it can't be just because motherfuckers is all out just running around fucking each other. I mean, you know, some of it, you know what I'm saying? But the way these numbers is coming out, I'm telling y'all, they gave you niggas a hot cocktail on my soul. Watch this shit come out. So hear me out. Something just came to me right.
You've consistently promoted the idea that America was built on Judeo-Christian values. However, as a devout Christian, I have difficulty accepting the term, given Judaism's rejection of Jesus. Christians believe Jesus Christ is God. In contrast, the Talmud, a central Jewish holy book, teaches that Jesus is burning in hellfire and excrement. And while the New Testament tells us to love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us, Sovereign 15 of the Talmud states that even the best of the Gentiles should be killed. Given these irreconcilable differences, why do you insist on using this oxymoronic term?
Okay, so first of all, that's a really bad read of the Talmud.
Jesus was a bastard born of adultery. Yevamot 49b. Jesus was a magician and a fool. Mary was an adulteress. Shabbat 104b. Jesus was guilty of sorcery and apostasy. Sanhedrin 43a. Mary was a whore. Jesus was an evil man. Sanhedrin 106a and b. Jesus was sent to hell, where he is punished by boiling excrement for mocking rabbis. Gittin 56b, 57a.
What the fuck? The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. What? We call it by different names now and make our offering to different gods.
No, there's just one. Yeah, there's just one.
As if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die. We call masses of humanity collateral damage and turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee. And the truth is, we don't do it because we are heartless.
Why?
We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running.
What?
We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek,
yeah, just one.
freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing, that they demand blood as the price of their favor.
What?
We do it because we cannot see any other choice.
There's other choices.
And maybe that's why we read the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, on Rosh Hashanah. Because the story of the Akedah isn't about inconceivable obedience. When Abraham prepares to sacrifice Isaac, he is just accepting the same bargain of blood we still accept today. that some need to die for the world to flourish.
Yeah, that. And that's the Bible y'all love. What the fuck? What the fuck?
The greatest lie humanity
Who doesn't hate this? When you call me a Jew hater, I look at everything that the Jew brings to my front door. I just shrug my shoulders. Yeah, you know what? I do hate this. I do hate the trafficking of children all over the world. I do hate childhood sex changes and abortion, the murder, the slaughter of innocent women and babies whose only crime is being born in Palestine, the land that their people have occupied for thousands of years. I hate how these disgusting little demons suck baby and get away with it. I hate the Jewish subversion of our education system and of our churches with their Schofield Bible. I hate the subversion of our Congress and the court and the White House. I hate the subversion and implosion of our borders and our immigration system. I hate the attack on the USS Liberty, the assassination of JFK, the bombing of the World Trade Center, the slaughter of Americans on 9/11, forever wars, the rigging of our elections, usury, the bubonic plague, the sinking of the Titanic, central banking, the Federal Reserve, the transatlantic slave trade. The list goes on and on. Yeah, I hate all of it, and it echoes throughout history. And now it's echoing once again as this country and this world stand on the brink of World War III. Everything that these people do, everywhere that these people go, they bring misery and mayhem and bloodshed and death. So yeah, if these are just a couple of things that these demons are responsible for, I'm a Jew hater. I'll wear that armband with pride. Who doesn't hate this?
So the Mamdani guy won, and he's supposedly like a Muslim or something. And I saw so many of these Jew bot posters posting, you see, the Jews don't control everything. They don't control New York City. Mamdani's like a Muslim, and now he's the mayor. Well.
We recently met and we found out that he's Jewish. His mother was Jewish, his grandmother was Jewish.
Yeah, what a surprise. What a surprise. So he's basically in bed with all the Jew guys, and now he's the mayor. And don't forget, too, who started communism? Karl Marx. And anyone want to guess drum roll, please? Jew. Oh, and anyone want to guess not only is he like best friends with all the Jews, drum roll, please. He's an actor. People are just finding out Zoran Mamdani was in a Disney movie 9 years ago. Of course he was. They all are. This is all a grand illusion of slavery. Do you get it yet? So Mamdani is this Muslim guy who's basically in bed with the Jews, of course. And you have to also notice the irony of it all, that supposedly 9/11 was done by Muslims in a cave in Afghanistan, which is obviously not true, but a lot of NPCs still think that's the case. And then like 25 years later, New York City has a Muslim mayor who's actually in bed with the Jews, who are the ones who did 9/11. Do you get it yet? Do you get it? Not all Jews. Not all. But many. So the Mamdani guy won, and he's supposedly like a Muslim or something. And I saw so many of these Jew bot posters.
I think we're in so deep, we're not even projecting out no let's set no shit up for no 10, 20, 50 years. Everything is happening in this administration. Everything.
They're canceling DEI across America in businesses and schools except for one group of people. And guess which group of people that is?
8:44, everybody. And a groundbreaking announcement by the U.S. Commerce Department this week will result in a historic expansion for Jewish businesses, not only in New York, but across the country.
Yeah, Jewish businesses will now be classified as minority business enterprises, making them eligible for billions of dollars in grants, contract, and loans.
So now they're going to be getting access to billions of dollars of taxpayers' money for free. DEI is canceled for others, but enhanced for them, huh? Listen to the explanation.
Duvi Honig is the founder and CEO of the Orthodox Jewish Chamber of Commerce.
Think about it. The Hispanic community is 19% of the U.S. population. Yeah. The African American is 15% of the U.S. population. The Jewish population is 2%.
And did you catch that subtlety? 19% Hispanic, 15% Black, and 2% Jewish. They're counting themselves and listing themselves as a racial minority, not a religious one. Everybody except for themselves counts them as white. So are they a religious group or racial group? Really, it's whatever benefits them in the moment, isn't it? And the ice...
Praise God, praise His Imperial Master, High Selassie IV, Lamp Odiban Orlando, who has been told you that Hitler was black and that the true reasons for them covering, changing his face, making him look like a white boy was to cover the fact up that Hitler being black was he was killing these, asking out these fake Jewish. These niggas ain't Jewish. They were the incubator babies. That, like the Lord said, is terrible from the beginnings. Why? Because they were created to be slaves, to be labor workers, to be used to whatever ritualistic shit they wanted to use them for. They sold them like packs of Swishers. They used them at the world fairs, right? All these different places they had them. Remember, Hitler had understanding, for real, for real. He was over there in science and technology trying to get over the ice wall to get UFOs and all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So you know this man-made science technology nigga was part of this corporation, right? So they were hauling off the cost of them creating them, using them for whatever they use them for. He was hauling off the cost. And this lie started, and then in I-929 to I-941 is the Great Deception. What they use is the Great Depression, right? And this world war that's going on. They're hauling off the cost. These corporations, they're killing off these incubator babies using Hitler and then creating a fake face for Hitler, right? With Moloch, the movie industry, but using this face, this true Hitler, killing off these motherfucking white people, these incubator babies, these slaves.
I don't know anything about this.
Praise God, praise His Imperial Master, High Selassie.
The danger in the world is if Esav and Yishmael ever came together, if they ever united. Says the Gemara, if Edom and Yishmael ever united, they would destroy the world. You can never mix Cain and Hevel together. And that's why we wish both of these Ummahs in their war against each other, bracha v'hatzlacha. My message to both of them is we wish both of them tremendous hatzlacha. They should wipe each other out. No, none of this should be said. Both sides should mamish be matzliach as much as possible. We wish both sides.
The same thing that they're wishing in the Middle East, they would like to happen here as well.
Tremendous hatzlacha in their avodah of wiping out the other party. This danger in the world is if Esav...
Hold on. Come back from a trip to Israel. I identified myself as Aboriginal. When I identified myself, they didn't want to process me until they'd process other families. And they say to me, oh, can you come this way? They want to inspect my bags. I feel like I've been discriminated against.
Passenger Michael is showing impatience, but this time he'll just have to wait as customs prepares for a search of his bag.
This bag has been sealed from Israel. It's been through the high security in Israel. I don't see why they should be opening my private...
He's just presenting himself at the primary line. He's walked past a number of Australian citizens who are standing in line. They've processed it that he's pushing in. The processing officer then said, look, I'm not going to process you until you go to the back of the line. He then said because of his Aboriginal heritage, he's exempt and he doesn't need to be processed.
Why didn't you display these items on the card here, sir? Filling this card out, right? You've broken the law of your country and my country,
Oh,
mate.
no, it's not my law. It's your law. It's custom law from what year? Huh? What year is that law come from? No, what year is the custom law, mate?
The customs law's got nothing to do with what I'm doing. The quarantine law, 1901.
The quarantine law, what year is that?
Huh? 1901.
1901, right?
What,
Well,
and you
should have
alive
been.
before 1901?
What was wrong with the quarantine in 1788?
I'm not gonna argue
when you
about
bring
it.
in a disease that killed off was part of the big genocide of Aboriginal people was disease. Thank you very much. I don't want to say another word till I get a lawyer.
Okay, can I speak to you then?
Sir, come back from a trip to...
They claim to be Aboriginal everywhere they go. This is fucking psychotic.
Israel. I identified myself as Aboriginal. When I identified myself, they didn't want to process me until they'd process other families. And they say to me, oh, can you come this way? They want to inspect my bags. I feel like I've been discriminated against.
Passenger Michael is showing impatience, but this time he'll just have to wait as customs prepares for a search of his bag.
This bag has been sealed from Israel. It's been through the high security in Israel. I don't see why they should be opening my private...
He's just presenting himself at the primary line. He's walked past a number of Australian citizens who are standing in line. They've protested that he's pushing in. The processing officer then said, look, I'm not going to process you until you go to the back of the line. He then said because of his Aboriginal heritage, he's exempt and he doesn't need to be
Why
processed.
didn't you display these items on the card here, sir? Filling this card out, right? You've broken the law of your country and my country, mate.
Oh, no, that's not my law. It's your law. It's custom law from what year?
Huh?
What year is that law?
The danger in the world is if Esav and Yishmael ever came together.
Well, I just wanted to apologize for every single fucking version of Windows that sucked, which is basically all of them. Also, sorry for creating viruses just so I could profit from selling you the antivirus software. And on that note, sorry for spreading real viruses by profiting from vaccines and shit. Also, sorry for sterilizing so many of you. There's just too many of us, and some of you are not nice. That's why I'm trying to block out the sun. Anyway, I just came here to ask for a pardon from all the Epstein shit. Thank you.
This is Aaron Russo, a filmmaker and former politician. To his left is Nicholas Rockefeller of the Council on Foreign Relations. After maintaining a close friendship with Nicholas, Aaron eventually ended the relationship, appalled by what he had learned.
I got a call one day from an attorney woman I knew, and she said, would you like to meet one of the Rockefellers? I said, sure, I'd love to. And we became friends, and he began to divulge a lot of things to me. So he said to me one night, he said that there's going to be an event there, and out of that event, you're going to see we're going to go into Afghanistan, so we run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We're going to go into Iraq to take the oil and establish a base in the Middle East, and we're going to go into Venezuela and try and get rid of Chavez. And the first two they've accomplished. Chavez they didn't accomplish. And he said you're going to see guys going into caves looking for looking for people that they're never going to find. You know, he was laughing about the fact that you have this war on terror. There's no real enemy. He's talking about how by having this war on terror, you can never win it because it's an eternal war. And so you can always keep taking people's liberties away. And I said, how are you going to convince people that this war is real? He said, but the media can convince everybody it's real. I mean, you know, it's just that you keep talking about things. You keep saying it over and over and over again, and eventually people believe it. You know, you created the Federal Reserve in 1913 through lies. You create 9/11, which is another lie. Through 9/11, you're fighting a war on terror, and now all of a sudden you go into Iraq, which was another lie, and now they're going to do Iran. You know, and it's all one thing leading to another, leading to another, leading to another. Now, I would say, what are you doing this for? What's the point of this thing? You have all the money in the world you ever want. You have all the power. I said, you know, you're hurting people. It's not a good thing. And he would say, what do you care about the people for? Take care of yourself and you take care of your family. And then I said to him, what are the ultimate goals here? He said, the ultimate goal is to get everybody in this world chipped with the RFID chip and have all money be on those chips and everything on those chips. And if anybody wants to protest what we do or violate what we want, we just turn off their chip.
This is Aaron Russo, a filmmaker and former...
The planet belonged to us.
I think we all remember the apartment complex that just mysteriously building 7'd into rubble in North Miami. That was in Bal Harbor. That happened on the same night that John McAfee died. Wow. And it's believed that he had an apartment or information stored in this one little apartment in Bal Harbor. When that apartment building collapsed.
I'm trying to sell my drugs, and these niggas interrupted. Hey, excuse me, officer. I'm trying to sell my drugs. Can y'all go somewhere else, please? Nah, for real, I'm trying to sell my drugs. Y'all interrupt them.
You do you, man.
I'm good?
You can do as you please.
All right, thank you. Yo, come on, we over here, y'all.
Yo, bro. Yo, there is no fucking way my boy just pulled up to the boys and said, I'm trying to sell my drugs. Y'all interrupting. Can y'all move? And then the nigga said, yo, guys, you can do what you please, bud.
What's going on? I love this guy. Oh yeah, right? Oh shit.
This is how the festival of San Niklaus, from whose name our Santa Claus is derived, is celebrated.
We use words, they use bullets.
This is the man who shot Charlie Kirk. This is the man who shot Trump. This is the man who killed Melissa Hortman. This is the man who tried to kill John Hoffman. This is the man who tried to kill Paul Pelosi. This is the man who killed an Obama-appointed judge's son. This is the man who hired hitmen to kill Democrats. This is the man who ran over a left-wing activist and killed her. This is the man responsible for the Austin bombing. This is the man who sent pipe bombs to Obama, Biden, and Hillary Clinton. This is the man who shot Gabby Gifford. This is the man who tried to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. Oh, and this man, and this man, and this man, this man, this man, this man, this man, this man, and this man. This is the man who set Josh Shapiro's house on fire. This is the Oklahoma bomber. This is his accomplice. These are just a few of the men who beat police officers on January 6th. I can think of a few things they have in common, and it's not the way they use their words or their left-wing politics.
See the pattern here? There's only one theme here when it comes to this, and it's the one thing that never gets talked about. We know who the most violent people are in America.
We use words, they use bullets.
This is the man who shot Charlie Kirk. This is the man who shot Trump. This is the man who killed Melissa Hortman. This is the man who tried to kill John Hoffman. This is the man who tried to kill Paul Pelosi. This is the man who killed an Obama-appointed judge's son. This is the man who hired hitmen to kill Democrats. This is the man who ran over a left-wing activist and killed her. This is the man responsible for the Austin bombing. This is the man who sent pipe bombs to Obama, Biden, and Hillary Clinton. This is the man who shot Gabby Gifford. This is the man who tried to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. Oh, and this man, and this man, and this man, this man, this man, this man, this man, this man, and this man. This is the man who set Josh Shapiro's house on fire. This is the Oklahoma bomber. This is his accomplice. These are just a few of the men who beat police officers on January.
This is my voice 1 week in Jamaica. This is my voice.
This guy had the cops show up because he was talking about Israel online. Check this out.
Try that again.
We're here because of the comments you made online about the Jewish community.
So what?
No, I'm saying, are you?
I have a freedom of speech, dude.
Yeah, no, we get that. We get that.
We gotta make sure that you're not. Do you have a warrant?
No, that's why we're
Okay,
here.
you see that sign? Yeah. So that says no soliciting. What you're doing is basically soliciting. You understand that, right? Yeah. It means you're not welcomed here. Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Stay off the lawn, please. This is what they're doing, guys.
Источник зла – это Бог, не сатана. В иудаизме сатана – это и есть Бог.
What people must understand is when they say they're God's chosen, God of the physical creation, it's Saturn. See that big rim around his hat? It's Saturn ring. You see that cube they wear on their forehead? It's Saturn. You see that wrap they wrap around oh, this is Saturn worship. 100% Saturn worship. So I don't even think people should be overly upset when they say that they're God's chosen. They need to understand what they're talking about.
Сатана – это и есть Бог. Это и есть Бог. Источник зла.
A Missouri jury has found Baptist Church youth leader Timothy Brown guilty of a 12-year-old girl who attended his church. Texas Christian school teacher, say that 5 times fast, and church child care worker Patrick Farmer has been indicted for child crimes. Michigan Baptist pastor Harold Cole has been arrested for of a child under the age 13. North Carolina Baptist church leader and Christian school.
You need to share this video with anyone and everyone that will watch it, because an Israeli professor at Ben Gurion University analyzed Israeli military data and posted a report to the Harvard Dataverse indicating that Israel has killed over 377,000 Palestinians since October 2023. Israel's so confident with their data that they estimate the number of Palestinians in the 3 camps that they've pushed them down to. Because you can see, everything has been decimated around them. And you want to know what else? These black lines surrounding these camps are...
The new state of Israel is on the territory of Ukraine. And it was the Jews who carried out mass terror. The war will end in 2 months. In Ukraine, everyone is Jewish, but not everyone knows it. This is a map of heavenly Jerusalem and the 5 areas in which heavenly Jerusalem will be created. The heavenly Jerusalem has its roots in the Jewish state of Khazaria, which was located on the territory of Ukraine. It was the Jews who perpetrated this mass terror. These are the scoundrels who are to blame for the deaths of millions of people and the negative selection of the peoples who inhabited this territory. Ukraine is impossible without Jews. Everything in Ukraine is...
Let's make your favorite chewing gums at home. Most popular chewing gum today is made from plastic. The same.
Europe is the values of the Talmud. The Jewish sense of personal responsibility, of justice, and of solidarity.
So the United Nations got together recently to vote on whether food is a human right. Only 2 countries voted against it, Israel and the United States of America. If you're an American citizen watching this video, you do not have the right to food, according to your government. Just let that sink in. So...
Yo, you have to watch this.
For everyone that called us crazy, I need you to listen up because you need to hear about what they're doing now. Canada just advanced a trial to vaccinate people using aerosol spraying. This is happening out of McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, and they have now launched phase 2 of this clinical trial. This is why I have been detoxing my family from spike proteins and from mRNA, even though we did not get the jab, because of crap like this. They weren't as successful as they wanted to be when they first rolled out the COVID jabs because so many people were awake and did not get them. So now they're figuring out how they can get them into us without our consent, which is exactly by doing this. Now more than ever, you need to have a protocol that you are following to get this out of your body and your family's body. We don't have a choice anymore.
Hello, nice to meet you. Do you live here?
Yes.
With your family?
No, I live alone. So, sorry, who?
Oh, that's even easier. This is my house.
That's kind of awkward. I have a deed and I own this land.
What?
Sorry, my English is not very good. Is this Bath?
Yes. See?
Is that a Roman city?
I see. You're joking. It's a lovely joke. Because you're Italian, you think that you own this place because...
No, there is no joke. The Romans occupied England in the 5th century, so anyone of Roman descent has an historic claim to this land. Now...
No. No. Oh my gosh. Keep watching.
I'll leave. My family is waiting outside.
Let's keep watching.
Oh my God, you're serious?
Yes. My God Jupiter proclaimed it. So now pack up and peace off.
No way.
Your English sounds pretty good to me. Listen. You can't just turn up to someone's house, evict them, and then move in because you think you're the descendants of someone who lived here thousands of years ago.
Valid argument.
You know that's ridiculous.
It is very ridiculous.
Right?
Pretty wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Die, guys! Come in! Anti-Jupiterite.
I don't need to add anything to that one.
Hello, nice to meet you. Do you live here?
Yes.
With your family?
No, I live alone. So, sorry, who?
Oh, that's even easier. This is my house.
That's kind of awkward. I have a deed and I own this land.
What?
Sorry, my English is not very good. Is this that?
Yes. See?
Is that a Roman city?
I see. You're joking. It's a lovely joke. Because you're Italian, you think that you own this place because...
No, there is no joke. The Romans occupied England in the 5th century, so anyone of Roman descent has an historic claim to this land. Now,
No. No. Oh my gosh. Keep watching.
I'll leave. My family is waiting outside.
Let's keep watching.
Oh my God, just...
We did some testing.
FBI whistleblower has this to say to America.
Yes, sir. I would just say that I consider the hearing today my last act of service as a public servant for the United States of America, and I'll give you my professional opinion. This is a warning to the American people. I say, I personally have no confidence that the FBI will rein in its own conduct. Their ability to overclassify information can allow them to stonewall forever. My other recommendations are in the natural order. First, vote. The second is the Second Amendment. Arm yourself and know how to defend yourself. Make 3 to 4 friends in your neighborhood and promise to come to each other's mutual aid in times of hardship. And during the Great Depression, people stocked up a pantry. So I think that's a good practice, especially in our economic times, and make sure you have 3 to 4 months of food. As a person of faith, I'd say pray the rosary and read the gospel of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and live it every day.
FBI whistleblower has this.
Okay, see that big yellow M behind me? Yeah, that's the one.
Ursula von der Leyen said this.
Europe is the values of the Talmud.
Europe does not have the values of the Talmud. This is what the Talmud says. Gittin 57.
The Book of Talmud is, after the Hebrew Bible, the central text of Rabbinic Judaism and the primary source of Jewish religion.
Another day has gone.
The Bible was created for the sole purpose of enslaving humanity. The author of the Bible is in the title. It is Bible. I'm going to read you a couple verses that prove my point to a T, and you can read along with me. 1 Peter 2:18. Slaves, in reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters, not only to those who are good and considerate, but also to those who are harsh. 1 Timothy 6:1. All who are under the yoke of slavery.
You bring me 100 Israeli soldiers, 10 of them say Shema Israel and read Tehillim and pray to God. Half of them are Russian goyim and other goyim, and the other ones, I'm Chiloni, earring over here, earring there, tattoo. When they join the army, 20-30% of them are gays, hate religion, hate rabbis, make fun against Hashem all day on the internet. That's the army. So why should Hashem help us when half of our soldiers...
So they randomly roll up on a guy in Central Park and he drops the greatest spoken word of all time. Check this out.
It's a good thing that God Almighty has never gone on strike because of unfair treatment or for things he didn't.
Yeah, right there. These zebras and elephants are all mine. God promised them to me 4,000 years ago. You must pay to gaze at them. Gazing fee.
Okay.
Approved. Yeah, right there. These zebras and elephants are all mine. God promised them to me 4,000 years ago. You must pay.
Who controls the Jews? Most people don't know that Rothschild translates to red shield. Does a shield not assume the existence of something or someone to be shielded? Indeed, the Encyclopedia Judaica explicitly names the Rothschilds as, quote, guardians of the Vatican treasury. The Vatican, of course, holds the imperial wealth of Rome. Most people think communism is a Jewish thing, but communism actually originated with the Jesuits over 200 years prior in their Paraguayan reductions, whose principles they spoon-fed to the Jew Karl Marx in the reading room of the British Museum. This was exposed by ex-Jesuit priest Alberto Rivera, as well as Otto von Bismarck's North German Gazette, which stated that Marx was tutored by the Jesuit priest Peter Becks. Karl Marx indeed attended Friedrich Wilhelm Trier, a Jesuit school. Lenin, another Jew who was a supposed figurehead of communism, was a Freemason, and as we know, the Freemasons served the Jesuits. Stalin also admitted in an interview he was Jesuit trained, after which he coincidentally became extremely passionate about the Marxist cause. If you had any doubts, some symbolism here strongly suggests they're all Freemasons, and as we know, the Freemasons served the Jesuits. So was it the Jews behind communism or was it the Jesuits? The truth is that the Jesuits had to make it appear like the Jews were behind communism in order to institute their next plan, which would be spearheaded by Mein Kampf, which, according to ex-Nazi military Otto Strasser, was actually written by the Jesuit-controlled priest Father Bernhard Stampfler and handed off to Hitler. Himmler, head of the SS, was a Jesuit tool himself, and the Vatican was also crucial in helping Nazis escape Germany through their rat lines. Is it possible that there was a hidden hand riling up conflicts on both sides this whole time, and these same people are doing it again, and the masses are falling for it again? The whole point, of course, of the Jesuit-facilitated Holocaust was to incentivize Jews to move to Palestine to prepare for the final act, which is coming up soon. Most people also don't realize that the most powerful banking position in the world, the head of the Federal Reserve Bank, is Jerome Powell, who is not a Jew, but is in fact Jesuit trained. Could the scapegoats be blinding us from the real threat? After all, the CIA, which is where the real power is, as well as the largest facilitator of child operations in the world, was founded by Catholic Knight of Malta William Donovan and was even nicknamed Catholics in Action due to their high number of Catholics. Even Israel's Mossad was trained by Reinhard Gehlen, a literal Nazi and Catholic Knight of Malta. As Eric John Phelps put it, Jews always play, quote, a conspicuous but subordinate role in world events. Satan isn't stupid enough to hide behind just one group. He wears many masks, and most people are gonna fall for his deception. Who controls the Jews? Most people don't know that Rothschild translates to red shield. Does a shield not assume the existence of something or someone to be shielded? Indeed, the Encyclopedia Judaica explicitly names the Rothschilds as, quote, guardians of the Vatican treasury. The Vatican, of course, holds the imperial wealth of Rome. Most people think communism is a Jewish thing, but communism actually originated with the Jesuits over 200 years prior in their Paraguayan reductions, whose principles they spoon-fed to the Jew Karl Marx in the reading room of the British Museum. This was exposed by ex-Jesuit priest Alberto Rivera, as well as Otto von Bismarck's North German Gazette, which stated that Marx was tutored by the Jesuit priest Peter Becks. Karl Marx indeed attended Friedrich Wilhelm Trier, a Jesuit school. Lenin, another Jew who was a supposed figurehead of communism, was a Freemason, and as we know, the Freemasons served the Jesuits. Stalin also admitted in an interview he was Jesuit trained, after which he coincidentally became extremely passionate about the Marxist cause. If you had any doubts, some symbolism here strongly suggests they're all Freemasons, and as we know, the Freemasons served the Jesuits. So was it the Jews behind communism or was it the Jesuits? The truth is that the Jesuits had to make it appear like the Jews were behind communism in order to institute their next plan, which would be spearheaded by Mein Kampf, which, according to ex-Nazi military Otto Strasser, was actually written by the Jesuit-controlled priest Father Bernhard Stampfler and handed off to Hitler. Himmler, head of the SS, was a Jesuit tool himself, and the Vatican was also crucial in helping Nazis escape Germany through their rat lines. Is it possible that there was a hidden hand riling up conflicts on both sides this whole time, and these same people are doing it again, and the masses are falling for it again? The whole point, of course, of the Jesuit-facilitated Holocaust was to incentivize Jews to move to Palestine to prepare for the final act, which is coming up soon. Most people also don't realize that the most powerful banking position in the world, the head of the Federal Reserve Bank, is Jerome Powell, who is not a Jew, but is in fact Jesuit trained. Could the scapegoats be blinding us from the real threat? After all, the CIA, which is where the real power is, as well as the largest facilitator of child operations in the world, was founded by Catholic Knight of Malta William Donovan and was even nicknamed Catholics in Action due to their high number of Catholics. Even Israel's Mossad was trained by Reinhard Gehlen, a literal Nazi and Catholic Knight of Malta. As Eric John Phelps put it, Jews always play, quote, a conspicuous but subordinate role in world events. Satan isn't stupid enough to hide behind just one group. He wears many masks, and most people are gonna fall for his deception. Who controls the Jews? Most people don't know that Rothschild translates to Red Shield. Does a shield not assume the existence of something or someone to be shielded? Indeed, the Encyclopedia Judaica explicitly names the Rothschilds as, quote, guardians of the Vatican treasury. The Vatican, of course, holds the imperial wealth of Rome. Most people think communism is a Jewish thing, but communism actually originated with the Jesuits over 200 years prior in their Paraguayan reductions, whose principles they spoon-fed to the Jew Karl Marx in the reading room of the British Museum. This was exposed by ex-Jesuit priest Alberto Rivera, as well as Otto von Bismarck's North German Gazette, which stated that Marx was tutored by the Jesuit priest Peter Becks. Karl Marx indeed attended Friedrich Wilhelm Trier, a Jesuit school. Lenin, another Jew who was a supposed figurehead of communism, was a Freemason, and as we know, the Freemasons served the Jesuits. Stalin also admitted in an interview he was Jesuit trained, after which he coincidentally became extremely passionate about